Hey everyone, it's Daphne from Scrap and Create. Welcome back. We're working on, let me verify this, page 6. Working on page 6, and I am doing a repeat pattern of page 3. So you've got a top flap and a bottom flap. And unfortunately, in page 3, I actually did the construction before I hit the record button. So I'm not going to do that this time. I'm going to set aside my designer papers and we're going to put this together Put this together. So page 6, just want to make sure my orientation is right. The bottom flap is 6.5 by 8 1/8, 6.5 by 8 1/8, and it is, and you're going to score a 1/2 inch on the 6.5 inch side. Now, if you've opted to use an 8 by 8 pocket page, then it just needs to be 6.5 by 8. So it depends on what size your pocket page was. I decided to try something new to see if I like using the slightly larger pocket page so I don't have to trim down my 8 by 8 pack paper. So, so far I have mixed feelings about it because I've gotten so used to the 8 by 8 a couple of times. I've trimmed out my flaps and made them 1/8 of an inch too small. So I don't know if I'm going to stick with this or not, but it's an option. And either way, the pocket pages will fit into the same hinge system and the same cover system as the as the 8.5 by 8.5 overall album. So I've just, like I said, all I've done is adjust the size of the pocket page by 1/8 of an inch. So you guys will have to let me know what you think in the comments. I'm going back and forth myself. And I think it's a good idea because it is, you know, you go in and you trim it a certain amount off every single 8 by 8 because of the size of the pocket page. So that's one thing. And then the other thing I realized is I'm working with Stamperia. And what I've noticed about their 8 by 8 packs is they're not exactly 8 by 8. They're actually a little bit smaller. So had I tested that before I did this, I probably would have gone with my normal 8 by 8. So this is actually 8, it's 7, it winds up being 7 15/16 out of the pack. So it's just a sliver under 8. So that's something to keep in mind when you're making your mind up of whether or not to go with the 8 by 8 or 8 1/8 by 8 1/8. It's not significant, but had I known that, I probably would have stuck with my original size. Now, Graphic 45, their packs are 8 by 8. So I haven't had that. I don't think I'll have the same issue with Graphic, and I'm not sure about Ciao yet. I don't usually stress it because I'm usually trimming a little bit off anyway. Okay, this is 4.5 by 8 1/8, 4.5 by 8 1/8. You're going to score a 1/2 inch on the 4.5 inch side. And that went in crooked. Ah. So I haven't burnished it, so I'm going to see if I can't lift it without tearing it completely up and straighten it out. And I'm doing it without using any undo just because I haven't pressed it into place. I think I'll be okay. Although it's really resisting. I think I got it up enough that I could probably straighten it out without pulling it the rest of the way off. Yep, I did. Okay. So it's still hanging over a little bit, so I'm going to trim that little bit off with some scissors. It's very hard to see, but it's hanging off just a little bit. So I'm just going to make it flush. There we go. Okay, now nice and flush. Pardon me. Okay, so the way this is going to work is the larger flap is going to go down first, then the small flap. So we're going to put our magnets in right now. Got kind of a mess going on my desk. And Here it is. I was gonna say, where's my fat tape? Here it is. Okay. Okay, that's in. I need my pick tool to put my scissors up. Do a little bit of housekeeping. Okay, so for the main part here, I'm going to use this beautiful pattern. It's going to go here, and this is from the 8x8 collection pack. My dog just came to visit, and then she left again. It's a nice warm day here in San Diego. I just took her for a walk, so hopefully she'll give me a little bit of time to craft before she needs attention again. So what are we doing? We are, when I say we, I mean Julie and I, and mostly Julie, is getting ready to, she's just started carding ribbon for the Blossom collection from Graphic 45 that should be shipping soon. So that's exciting. I was over yesterday and we were coordinating the ribbon choices, and that collection is so pretty. We don't have it in yet, but we're getting ready for it. It's so pretty. I'm already thinking about what I want to do with it. The other thing we talked about, and I'm probably going to get started on soon, is, it should be here soon as well, is the Vagabond collection. The Sir and the Lady Vagabond. I think I'm saying that right, yeah. And I'm going to do something different with that one. I'm actually going to make a folio, which I've not done with you guys. And it's going to be a bifold folio, and one side is going to be the lady and one side is going to be Sir. So of course you could make both sides either one, but I'm already kind of running through some of the design scenarios in my head to make a folio, which is something we haven't done together. This blue pattern here is from the 8x8 collection pack. So everything on the inside of this page is from 8x8 collection pack. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, the cover, the A side is going to be from the 8x8 collection pack too. It is going to feature the wolf, one of the wolf images. Okay, so let's get this right side up again. So there is the top, center, and bottom. It's going to close like so. And then this is the image that is going to go on top. And here's what I've done. So you can see I sliced through the image, but when you open it up, you're going to see the entire wolf. So that is what's going on. Again, this is from the 8x8 collection pack. Excuse me. Is everybody getting ready for the holidays? It's kind of strange. In San Diego, we're going, I don't know why they have such a weird color thing for COVID, but they're going to close our restaurants down again, which is really kind of a bummer. During the summer and even part of the fall, it wasn't a big deal because it's usually so warm here in San Diego, you can eat outside, but it's now starting to get a little too cool to sit outside at a restaurant. So it's really bad news for the restaurants and kind of a bummer for all of us. This is just dragging on. So we're getting ready to go into, I guess they call it purple. And of course that means, unfortunately, my senior, Sam, is going to get delayed going back on campus as well. So that's really disappointing that I doubt that he's going to get back on campus for his senior year. So he missed the last quarter of his junior year, and it's looking like he's going to miss his entire senior year. So disappointing for those kids. Last year they weren't allowed to graduate in a ceremony. It looks like that's going to happen again this year, and that's really disappointing. That's kind of a big milestone. I remember that being a big day for me, so I'm really disappointed for him, or for all seniors, really. It's not exactly the greatest environment to get a job in or even start college. Oh, our poor kids. Okay, well, hopefully in the end it'll make everybody a little bit more resilient. And I don't mean physically, emotionally. Okay, so here is page 6. We've got our top flap, which opens up. Our bottom flap goes down. And then this comes with this chipboard pack. I think they actually call it die cuts, but they're thick like chipboard. And then there's a lot of cut aparts in the collection too. So I'm going to be doing embellishments inside the pages, but I'm going to come back and do that. So for right now, I'm going to set this aside and we're going to get started on page 7. So I'm going to call it finished for this video, as you guys have asked, and I have gone ahead and done is I organize around one video per page, and that way you don't have to go searching within a given video for a page. So I will be back, and when I am, we'll be working on page 7.